Good morning. My name is Christopher Buttner. I'll be reading from a prepared statement for precision. I am a full-time resident of Murphy's, an entrepreneurial business owner, and the co-owner of the annual Murphy's Witch Walk. The starkly contrasting views on tourism growth and entrepreneurship expressed by two supervisors at the January 24th Board of Supervisors meeting were headlined by Supervisor Garamendi's unsuccessful effort to advance this county's urgent requirement to explore additional opportunities for tourism revenue generation and to proactively promote entrepreneurialism. The anti-entrepreneurial climate that Supervisor Garamendi encountered publicly is directly relevant to what I've consistently experienced for the last several years at great professional, reputational, and financial expense. I call on this board to immediately investigate whether the annual 25% share of transient occupancy tax contributed to the Calaveras Visitors Bureau has surpassed the point of diminishing returns, now requiring the CVB's executive director to publicly present a written, continued funding justification plan to this board. The fact pattern reveals that during the last 4 years, $1.25 million in public funding has been contributed to the grossly underperforming CVB. The stagnation of Calaveras tourism demands an immediate accounting of the 25% value of this county's scarce TOT funds that cover roughly 80% of the CVB's annual operating expenditures. These public funds would be best reallocated to the 9 fire districts, law enforcement, and desperately needed Murphy's Main Street infrastructure improvements. Neighboring Tuolumne County, by comparison, has experienced an increase in tourism and TOT during the same time frame, enabling the purchase of 3 Type 1 fire trucks. In Calaveras, each of the 9 fire districts receives a scant 2.78% share of annual TOT disbursements compared to the 25% share of disbursements received by the CVB. Maintaining the 25% TOT status quo allocated to the CVB is unjustifiable based upon the agency's legacy of underperformance. Public funding from the transient occupancy tax must be significantly reduced, capped, or eliminated, requiring the CVB to take on significantly more of its annual operating budget through self-funding. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comments? Seeing none in the room. Any public comments or questions?
My name is Christopher Buttner. I am a full-time Murphy's resident, an entrepreneurial business owner, co-owner of Murphy's Witch Walk LLC, and I'll be reading from a prepared statement. I addressed this board during general public comment on February 14th about my experiences with intentional suppression of my entrepreneurial business ventures. Today's agenda item 11, receive a presentation by the Calaveras County of Commerce, appears to be a pretext for a $50,000 gift from this county's TOT funds. I voiced my staunchest opposition to the outlandish proposal by the Calaveras Chamber and endorsed by the Calaveras Visitors Bureau. On March 8th, the Chamber, complicit with the CVB and Murphy's Business Association, jointly received a formal cease and desist letter from me, copied to my legal counsel, addressing their collective misappropriation of the trademark-protected Murphy's Witch Walk promotional compound slogan in a late scramble to promote this weekend's Murphy's Irish Day. The trio's infringement of my intellectual property demonstrates a collective void of marketing sophistication and legal savvy. Thus far, only the Chamber and the CVB have wisely acceded to my legal demand to immediately cease and desist, deleting their trademark infringing material from their respective online marketing assets to remediate their trespass upon my federally protected legacy trademark. The Chamber's Leadership Calaveras program purports to encourage development of responsible business community leadership, so I ask, What example does trademark infringement teach the business community about leadership? What is the Chamber's justification for holding out a tin cup for taxpayer-funded welfare? What accountability would the Chamber have for receiving this government largesse? Let the Chamber propose a business plan demonstrating how they'll deliver an acceptable ROI on a low-interest $50,000 SBA loan. The former interim Chamber CEO, who is now the current taxpayer-salaried CVB Executive Director and Junior Supervisor, must recuse himself from voting. The Chamber's request for a $50,000 gift must be unanimously denied. Supervisors, let this serve as a pragmatic demonstration of entrepreneurial Calaveras leadership. Junior Supervisor, you and your Business Bureau cohorts must rise to my level. I will no longer go down to yours. And Supervisor Garamendi, I share your pain. This is how to sink a fence post. To be continued. Thank you all. My name is Christopher Buttner. I'm a Murphy's resident, owner of Murphy's Witch Walk, and I'll be reading from a prepared statement. I staunchly oppose Agenda Item 30, County Council Edwards Reappointment Resolution. I've previously addressed the intentional and concerted trespasses made upon my personal and professional reputation and businesses leading to suppression of tourism and entrepreneurialism. I allege these persistent offenses and orchestrated collusion were initiated by a Murphy's Legacy business owner with whom I had a legal business dispute that was of no concern to anyone other than the defendant and I. All county district supervisors and executive-level staffers received and continue to ignore 2 years of documents relevant to this matter that reveal details of tortious interference, restraint of trade, trade libel, false light, and trademark violations beginning in June 2021, continuing to this day. I further allege the aforementioned individual initiated a premeditated and sustained harassment campaign against me to have me evicted from my home, discredit me in the business community.
What this has to do with...
I'm getting to it.
Okay, we'll give you some leeway here to get to it.
Discredit me in my business community and attempt to intimidate me into dropping my federal legal filing. This individual's tactics included enlisting the witting and unwitting participation of my landlord, neighbors, local business bureaus, and targeting my 90-year-old mother seated here as a means of coercive leverage. Over 2 years, I've filed 11 harassment reports with the Sheriff's Department, culminating in a June 2022 restraining order hearing pursued by necessity when concerned for my mother's physical safety and my own. These acts of harassment escalated to a veiled threat of violence. County government leadership was again alerted to this matter with my plea for help on March 24th, 2022 in mailed and emailed correspondence to County Council Edwards and then Supervisor and Board Chair Follendorf. All district supervisors have since received detailed supporting documents more than once in the last year, yet there remains zero responsiveness to my escalated issues. This deafening silence appears to reveal a cover-up of conflicts of economic interests, institutionalized cronyism, and exclusionary collusion between ethically challenged Business Bureau management and board members. Alarmingly, several of these individuals are presently or were taxpayer-salaried elected government officials. Madam CEO, over the past month, I've included you in written correspondence so you're not blindsided by this matter in your first week. No one in this government should be reappointed with a pay raise until these alleged breaches of oath and abuses of power are thoroughly probed in a sweeping ethics and oversight investigation that starts with following the money to expose undisclosed conflicts of economic interest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Any other public comment?
Thank you.
Andrea.
It's going to be hard to follow. Okay.
My name is Christopher Buttner. I own the Murphy's Witch Walk. I am a marketing consultant specializing in the entertainment industry with over 30 years experience in my role. You are all aware of the fact that since February 14, 2023, I addressed before the Calaveras County Board of Supervisors, as well as in letters to the editors and correspondence to you, the issue of county-sanctioned and institutionalized conflicts of economic interests, institutionalized cronyism, and exclusionary collusion through the willful and malicious suppression of entrepreneurialism and innovation, in favor of select supportive legacy personalities, businesses, and industries through the advocacy of individuals entrenched in a range of both governmental and business bureau leadership positions. On April 6, 2023, this issue broke out into the open with a cover story in the Calaveras Enterprise, Angels Camp, Business Denied, Permit to Host Events. This has put the wedding industry on the ropes. It is causing much confusion in an industry that generates $24 million for this county. I received a text message from a venue owner who was being harassed by his neighbor. I addressed harassment when I was before this board, Supervisor Tofinelli, on March 28th. He writes to me, "What happens when all these corrupt people realize the walls are closing in? I feel like they will retaliate, even violently." I have been the victim of that kind of harassment. I have filed 11 harassment reports, and I had to take a business owner to court to get a restraining order against this individual. This text message expressing such deep and fearful concern, sadly but understandably exemplifies the unsafe and detrimental business and community climate that the Calaveras County government, in complicit association with numerous business bureau leadership positions, continues to agenda. I have emailed you all an 18-page analysis report last night. I hope you look at it. Over 4 years, Calaveras County and the Angels Camp, City of Angels Camp, has contributed $1,836,000 to the CVB for a decline in tourism, 5% to 38% specific to District 3. The Film Commission website has been offline since February 2020. There is no marketing to the film industry. Numbers don't lie, people. To Ben's point, to your point, the riches are in the niches. Got to do a better job at marketing. I'm here to help if you want it. You know my phone number.
Are there any other public comments?
My name is Christopher Buttner. I'll be reading from a prepared statement. I've been a Murphy's resident since June of 2015. I'm speaking today in support of Jonathan and Allison Lima's appeal of this county's selective business suppression. We are doing our best to be ethical, law-abiding, decent, and contributing citizens. First, Calaveras weddings represent $24 million annually to this county. I've addressed this issue during my last appearance before the Board of Supervisors. This matter has the wedding industry in this county on edge. Second, I too, as an event planner, have been on the receiving end of entrepreneurial tourism business suppression and have had my rights violated. Third, Martin, Huberty, and the Fuller family are wedding venue owners. I am an event professional. I own the Murphy's Witch Walk. In 3 iterations of my management since 2019, my annual Murphy's Witch Walk event has put an estimated $3 million into District 3 and 4 economies. The 2023 event would have brought an estimated $1.5 million into the county economy in 1 day. I'm suspending the Murphy's Witch Walk until October 2025 to focus my financial resources and time reserved for the Murphy's Witch Walk into the following activities for the long-term betterment of Calaveras County. I am tired of this institutionalized suppression of new business. This morning, I've launched Calaveras2024election.com and its companion website, murphyscalifornia.biz. They are both live. They are populated with multiple posts detailing in part this county government's financial misconduct and negligence of public safety described in 3 recent grand jury complaints. My new efforts the Murphy's Economic Development Alliance at murphyscalifornia.biz, represented by legal counsel, is a unified, ethical, and non-conflicted collective of highly experienced and seasoned Calaveras County-based business owners, entrepreneurs, and supporters specializing in traditional and digital marketing, public relations, sales, tourism, entertainment, hospitality, special event production, software and computer technologies, construction, agriculture, accounting, corporate risk analysis, military and government communications, accounting, and law. This undertaking is a nonpartisan citizen initiative to enact change and elect non-conflicted, fiscally responsible community and business leaders to the Board of Supervisors to serve all county residents fairly and equitably. Underrepresented Calaveras County business owners and citizens have reached the limits of our tolerance with ineffective and conflicted Calaveras County government, and we're doing something about it in the 2024 election. In conclusion, I must quote Mark Twain: politicians and diapers must be changed often and for the same reason. Thank you. My name is Christopher Buttner. My website is Calaveras2024election.com. I'll be reading from a prepared statement. I am the son of a firefighter. I have over 3 decades of experience in event safety protocols for arenas, amusement parks, convention centers, and cruise ships. The Butte wildfire of September 2015 was a PG&E causation. PG&E has been blamed for more than 30 wildfires since 2017 that destroyed over 23,000 homes and businesses and killed over 117 people. Today I express grave concerns shared by many in Calaveras regarding the public safety and extreme fire risk posed to the Arnold community by the Tesla supercharger station under construction in the northwest corner of Arnold's Meadowmont Center following the hastily approved electric vehicle charging station EVCS permitting process. To reiterate from my July 25th detailed 9-page written analysis, there is considerable acknowledged value in Calaveras County attracting and integrating green EVCS infrastructure. A properly sited, reviewed, inspected, and approved Tesla supercharger station is a very desirable addition to Arnold. Regrettably, the poorly selected siting of the facility on the parcel presents multiple public safety concerns that were left unaddressed by the fast-track ministerial permit approval. Points of concern include the permit process conditional exclusion of fire officials from participation in the review and approval of this high-risk facility, the proximity of this facility to residences, trees, large-capacity propane tanks, and unregulated traffic. The root cause of this problem extends back to January 24, 2017, when a flippantly discussed and unanimously approved agenda item for the EVCS ordinance was introduced. Supervisors Tofinelli and Garamendi voted to approve the EVCS ordinance. The video record of the ordinance approval process is a shameful and lasting indictment of the continuing failure of this county's government to recognize and anticipate risk to public safety before its citizens insist. A high-risk EVCS is now under construction. The community insists upon a temporary injunction until a thorough review by fire officials, law enforcement, and public works has occurred to mitigate the risk and assure the community of public safety. Further, the EVCS ordinance must be repealed and replaced to insert fire officials in permitting and approval process for all non-residential EVCS installations. A detailed EVCS repeal and replace request was emailed to all of you on behalf of the citizens of Arnold and Calaveras on August 7th. Additional details regarding this urgent issue of county government negligence is at my website, Calaveras2024election.com.
Thank you very much, Christopher.
My name is Christopher Buttner. I'll be reading from a prepared statement. This morning at 8:55 a.m., I emailed a Public Records Act request to Calaveras County Counsel, Sarah Edwards. To enter it into the public records of this meeting, I will now read it aloud to the Board of Supervisors. The County CEO and County Council. On February 21st, 2023, the Calaveras Visitors Bureau CVB filed IRS 2021 Form 990 Schedule 0, detailing a significant change had occurred to its organizational documents in 2021, whereby its legal status changed from a 501c6 public benefit corporation nonprofit entity to a 501c6 mutual benefit corporation nonprofit entity, effective upon recordation of amended articles of incorporation on July 12, 2021. CVB's request for approval from the Department of Justice had been granted 2 months earlier on May 20th, 2021. The California Public Records Act request is for the Office of Calaveras County Counsel to produce responsive records of all writings pertaining to Calaveras County's administration having been notified in any manner, formally or informally, by the Calaveras Visitors Bureau of its switch in mid-2021 or at any time since of its nonprofit corporation type from a public benefit corporation nonprofit entity to a mutual benefit corporation nonprofit entity. My name is Christopher Buttner. My website is calaveras2024election.com. Again, that's calaveras2024election.com. Thank you.
This is the consent agenda. The consent agenda items are expected to be routine and non-controversial. They will be acted upon by the board at one time without discussion. Any board member, staff member, or interested party may request removal of an item from the consent agenda for later discussion. Is there any board member wish to pull an item? Supervisor Huberty?
Yes, Chair Toffenelli, I don't wish to pull the item, but I would like to recuse myself from item 3. I am an employee of the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, and to avoid any perception of conflict, I will recuse myself.
Okay. Is there any member of the public wish to pull an item off the consent?
Item 3, please.
Item 3. So we have 3 and 6. Go back to item number 3. This is agreement with the Administrative Office. Authorize the board to execute an agreement with the Calaveras County Visitors Bureau for tourism promotion for the period of July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2026.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Christopher Buttner. I'm formally requesting the removal and continuance of Agenda Item 3, Calaveras County Visitors Bureau Promotion Agreement from today's August 22nd, 2023 Board of Supervisors meeting. I'll be reading a series of questions as my prepared statement. Why did the Calaveras Visitors Bureau switch its legal status from a nonprofit public benefit corporation to a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation in 2021? Who instigated this change of legal status from a nonprofit public benefit corporation to a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation at the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, and who in the county government was notified? On what date and by whom was the Calaveras County government first notified of the Calaveras Visitors Bureau switch from a nonprofit public benefit corporation to a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation in 2021? Who in the county government approved the continuation of transient occupancy tax funding for the Calaveras Visitors Bureau following the Bureau's change of legal status from a nonprofit public benefit corporation to a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation? Why did the county provide nearly $2 million in funding to the Calaveras Visitors Bureau for several years without a formal agreement and yearly financial accountability? Does the Calaveras County CEO and County Council know that transient occupancy taxes are being allocated to a business bureau that is no longer a nonprofit public benefit corporation? Does the Calaveras County CEO and County Council know that these transient occupancy tax dollars contributed to the Calaveras Visitors Bureau now legally belong to the members of a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation? Where is the publicly available roster of the members of this nonprofit mutual benefit corporation published, and who is the president of the Calaveras Visitors Bureau Board of Directors? Why is the Calaveras Visitors Bureau Tourism Promotion Agreement being established between Calaveras County and a non-existent California nonprofit public benefit corporation as explicitly stated in the Tourism Promotion Agreement dated July 1st, 2023? Does Calaveras County's administration recognize and understand the fundamental and significant legal distinctions between a nonprofit public benefit corporation and a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation? This is just the first of dozens of questions that you'll soon be answering publicly, explaining to the citizens of Calaveras County how such legal and fiscal mismanagement occurs on your watch. I demand that the Board of Supervisors withhold any further action in voting on this matter today and instead schedule a public hearing regarding this 4-year contract with the Calaveras Visitors Bureau to examine multiple substantiated citizen concerns. Thank you very much.
Is there any other comments on this item?
My name is Christopher Buttner. Board Chair Tofinelli is a scheduled speaker at the Chamber of Commerce State of the County event on September 22nd. What Mr. Tofinelli will notably fail to reveal is a well-corroborated fact pattern. The state of the county is one of institutionalized endemic corruption, born of duplicity, backroom dealing, and influence peddling by and between the Board of Supervisors and multiple business bureaus. The leadership of the Calaveras County Chamber of Commerce and the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, in league with willfully negligent and deceptive county supervisors, allegedly engaged in multiple representations jeopardizing the county's financial integrity. The Board of Supervisors' blatant corruption prompted the filing of 3 grand jury complaints in June. $50,000 in TOT revenue was egregiously awarded to the Chamber recently as a result of backroom dealing and influence peddling conducted by and between the leadership of the Chamber and several members of the Board of Supervisors. This allegation is explicitly corroborated by a series of email and text exchanges between county employees and Chamber leadership obtained by Public Records Act responses. In another recent instance of alleged corruption, the Visitors Bureau misrepresented its nonprofit corporate type as public benefit in the 4-year, multi-million-dollar plus tourism promotion agreement with the county finalized 3 weeks ago. This despite the CVB having surrendered its public benefit status with the DOJ and Secretary of State in 2021 upon conversion to a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation. Credible allegations have emerged of negligent or fraudulent misrepresentation by the leadership of the CVB, of which District 3 Supervisor Hubbard is the executive director. Furthermore, the CVB has allegedly been operating illegally without valid bylaws for more than 2 years and allegedly induced, partially or fully, the Board of Supervisors and administration into signing the 4-year funding agreement for tourism promotion under false pretense. Public Records Act responses from County Council suggest the administration was not notified by the CVB of this change from a public benefit nonprofit corporation to a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation. The mission of a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation is to serve its members, not the public, yet public tax funds are being diverted to the CVB despite the administration and taxpayers not having been informed of the CVB's conversion in 2021. The matter is under review by the Charitable Trust Section of the Attorney General's Office, the Legal Review Unit of the Secretary of State, and is being referred to the District Attorney's Office for investigation. The state of Calaveras County is corrupt. Learn more at calaveras2024election.com.
Any other public comments?
My name is Christopher Buttner. My website is calaveras2024election.com. I'm just going to read for entertainment purposes a couple of codes. Code 2.64.560, prohibited activities, conflict of interest. No employee of the county shall engage in any employment, activity, or enterprise for compensation which is in any way incompatible with his or her duties as a county officer or employee, or with the duties, functions, or responsibilities of the appointing authority or the county. Code 2.64.565, Code of Ethics. It is the duty and responsibility of those in public service to conduct their affairs in an ethical manner. As such, those employed by the county shall, A, never provide special favors or privileges or accept favors or benefits under circumstances which may be construed by reasonable persons as influencing the performance of one's public duties. B, engage in no business activity which is inconsistent with the conscientious performance of one's public duties. C, never use any confidential information received in the performance of one's public duties for private profit or personal gain. D, never engage in outside activities that are incompatible with the objective performance of their duties or delivery of public service. E, treat all individuals encountered in the performance of one's duties in a respectful, courteous, and professional manner. F, promote only decisions that benefit the public interest. G, conduct and perform job duties diligently and promptly. H, faithfully comply with all laws and regulations applicable to the county and impartially apply them to everyone. I, promote the public interest through responsive application of public duties. J, demonstrate the highest standards of personal integrity, truthfulness, and honesty in all public activities. K, uphold these principles, being conscious that the public office is a public trust. Code 2.64.570, prohibited activities. I don't have the time to finish this, but it's all posted as the top blog post at my website, Calaveras2024election.com. Thank you.
We'll go to item number 9. Chris, you pulled this item off. You want to come up and...
My name is Christopher Buttner. My website is Calaveras2024election.com. Agenda 9 must be removed from today's consent agenda due to credible allegations of fraudulent misrepresentation and deceptive business practices by the Calaveras Visitors Bureau. On August 22, 2023, I appeared before this board with legal questions concerning the tourism promotion agreement being executed between the county administration and the CVB. My questions were ignored, and this board voted to approve the deceptively worded tourism promotion agreement. Board Chair Tofinelli signed the agreement soon afterward, derelict of his duty of office. Agenda item 9 indicates that this board plans to vote today to approve a resolution adopting the fiscal year 23-24 county budget for the distribution of transient occupancy taxes to the Calaveras Visitors Bureau. Again, I will ask you legal questions derived from credible allegations of fraudulent misrepresentation and deceptive business practices by the Calaveras Visitors Bureau. Does the county administration understand the fundamental and significant legal distinctions between a public benefit nonprofit corp and a mutual benefit nonprofit corp? Why did the CVB convert from a public benefit nonprofit corp to a mutual benefit nonprofit corp in 2021, and who instigated this conversion? On what date was the county administration formally notified of the CVB's conversion from public benefit nonprofit corp to mutual benefit nonprofit corp? Does the county CEO and county council understand the legal implications of transient occupancy tax revenue being distributed to a falsely represented nonprofit corporation, or that these public funds will now legally belong to members of a mutual benefit nonprofit corp? Who are the members of this mutual benefit nonprofit corp being funded with our public tax dollars? What is the date of the current bylaws of the mutual benefit nonprofit corp? What were the circumstances enabling the misrepresented tourism promotion agreement with the CVB, errantly signed by County Council Edwards, Board Chair Tofinelli, and the CVB's Board of Director President Morgan Gotche of a non-existent public benefit nonprofit corporation? Why is this legal and fiscal malfeasance occurring on your watch? The answer to the last question is, in a word, corruption. I demand this board remove Agenda 9 from today's consent agenda, rescind the CVB's tourism promotion agreement, and schedule a public hearing regarding credible allegations of fraudulent misrepresentation and deceptive business practices by the CVB. Thank you very much.
Is there any other public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board. Does any board member wish to remove this item from the agenda? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion for item number 9.
Moved.
A motion by Supervisor Follendorf.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Garamendi. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0 with 1 absent.
One.
Oh, one dissension. 3-0-1. 1.
And also, Chair, if I could, I should have recused myself also from item number 10.
You're recusing yourself from 10?
Yeah, please.
Also? Okay. We move on to item number 10. This is approve a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2023-24 county budget for distribution of transit occupancy taxes to the Calaveras Chamber of Commerce. Chris, you pulled this one again?
Today's my day. My name is Christopher Buttner. My website is Calaveras2024election.com. Agenda item 10 concerning transient occupancy tax distribution to the Calaveras Chamber of Commerce must be removed from today's consent agenda due to credible allegation of deceptively worded agenda item and backroom dealings between the Board of Supervisors and the Chamber. Before this board on March 14, 2023, I allege the Chamber's funding request was a mischaracterized board agenda item that was a pretext for a $50,000 gift from county transient occupancy tax funds. Derelict of duty to protect public funds in spite of my repeated vocal and written opposition statements between March 14, 23 and today, the Board of Supervisors on June 27, 2023 approved $50,000 contribution to the Chamber from TOT revenue. Today I'm asking you legal questions derived from credible allegations of misrepresentation and backroom dealings. Does this board know that on March 4, 2023, Deputy CEO Marcos Muniz, via email, expressed concern to the President of the Chamber, Sherry Royce, that the informational item inappropriately included a request for TOT funding? Does this board know Chamber President Sherry Royce responded by email to Deputy CEO Muniz's concern, informing him that he was encouraged by a few supervisors to mention the request in her presentation? Does this board know that on March 10, 2023, Kathy Galino, County Director of Economic and Community Development, complained to Martin Huberty via text message that they can't ask for money during an informational item, stating she was really upset? Is the board aware that I published to my website a detailed analysis of the Chamber's IRS filings for 18 years, from 2004 to 2021, revealing an organization operating at a deficit for 10 of 18 years? Why did this board ignore my June 24, 2023 written request to disclose the Chamber's 2022 and 23 financial performance as a matter of government fiscal transparency? Is the board aware of the glaring appearance of conflict of interests and loyalties, having 3 currently sitting supervisors as former leadership of the Chamber? Why is this legal and fiscal malfeasance occurring on your watch? The answer to that last question is, in a word, corruption. I demand that this board remove agenda item 10 from today's consent agenda, withhold $50,000 in TOT funds from the Chamber, and schedule a public hearing regarding credible allegations of misrepresentation and deceptive business practices by the Chamber concerning its funding request and the backroom dealings of the Board of Supervisors. My website is calaveras2024election.com. Thank you.
Is there any other public comments on this item?
Good evening. My name is Christopher Buttner. On September 4th, 2023, I submitted a Public Records Act request to the City Attorney, Dwight Brenner, LLP, for the executed amended agreement for the promotion of tourism entered into between the City of Angels Municipal Corporation and the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, a nonprofit association, authorized by Resolution 23-02. Unanimously approved by the City Council on January 3rd, 2023. On September 14, 2023, I was informed by the City Attorney that the City had determined my request described identifiable records that were disclosable under the Public Records Act, and I was provided with a digital copy of the City Council's executed resolution number 23-02. I was additionally informed on that date by the City Attorney that the city was still searching its files responsive to my request for the signed tourism agreement and required as much as an additional 14 days to conduct its search. On September 27, 2023, I was informed by the City Attorney that the City did not have any additional records responsive to my Public Records Act request dated September 4, 2023, for the executed agreement for the promotion of tourism. Quoting the City Attorney, after a thorough search, staff is unable to locate the executed agreement. I respectfully request of this City Council that the City resumes and successfully concludes its search for the missing agreement for the promotion of tourism, so that my Public Records Act request, dated September 4, 2023, for identifiable records that were disclosable under the Public Records Act may be fulfilled in a timely manner. To that point, I shall plan to return to the next City Council meeting 2 weeks from this evening on October 17th to address this in greater detail should my September 4th, 2023 Public Records Act request for the executed amended agreement for the promotion of tourism not have been met by that time. Thank you very much, and we'll keep Rose. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, my name is Christopher Buttner. I appeared before the City Council on October 3rd, respectfully requesting the City of Angels resume and successfully conclude its search for the missing January 3rd, 2023 executed amended agreement for the promotion of tourism with the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, hereinafter referred to as the CVB, so that my Public Records Act request dated September 4th, 2023 for identifiable records that were disclosable under the California Public Records Act may be fulfilled in a timely manner. The City of Angels' administrative challenges with the record-keeping processes, in this instance specific to the missing January 3rd, 2023 executed amended agreement for the promotion of tourism, has disrupted the timeline of my fact-finding and evidence discovery process. It's essential that each of you understand my intention is non-hostile, that I bear no ill will towards the city despite the lengthy delay in producing for me an identifiable record that the city had determined to be disclosable under the California Public Records Act. To eradicate any misconceptions by the City Council and its administration, the CVB is definitely not a non-profit association. The CVB is a non-profit corporation, not a non-profit association. The CVB intentionally converted its legal entity type with the State Attorney General's office and the Secretary of State's office from a non-profit public benefit corporation to a non-profit mutual benefit corporation effective July 12, 2021. It is alleged that the CVB, a non-profit mutual benefit corporation, had failed for over 2 years to officially notify the City of Angels of its conversion of its legal entity type from a non-profit public benefit corporation to a non-profit mutual benefit corporation effective July 12, 2021. It is alleged that the CVB, a non-profit mutual benefit corporation, has been operating illegally since July 12, 2021 without valid bylaws. It is alleged that the CVB, a non-profit mutual benefit corporation, has been deceiving the public since July 12, 2021, as evidenced by displaying invalid bylaws on its website and purporting these invalid bylaws to be current and valid. It is alleged that the CVB committed fraudulent misrepresentation of its legal entity type by falsely entering into an amended agreement for the promotion of tourism with the City of Angels on July 31st, 2021, and again on January 3rd, 2023. This alleged scandal exhibits disturbing parallels to the Tuolumne County Economic Development Authority Joint Powers Agreement scandal that rocked neighboring Tuolumne County in 2018 and took over 4 years to resolve, pitting the City of Sonora's government, Tuolumne County's government, and the Tuolumne County Economic Development Authority against each other, leading to the dissolution of the Tuolumne County Economic Development Authority at great public expense. These allegations regrettably jeopardize the City of Angels administration by drawing it into an expanding scandal that also includes the Calaveras County government, having been similarly duped by the CVB on August 22nd, 2023, when it entered into a formal contractual tourism promotion agreement with the CVB, claiming its legal entity type to be a, quote, California nonprofit public benefit corporation, end quote. On October 10th, I received an email with an attached 2-page document from the City Attorney's Office. The email notified me, quote, I do apologize for the delay in providing you with these records. Please be assured that this was an unusual occurrence. Staff have looked into the issue, and it is not the city's intent to obstruct transparency or prevent disclosure of its public records, quote. That attached document I received on October 10th from the city's attorney's office was, unfortunately, an obviously altered official government record, a recreation, and also was not fully executed as it lacked the signature of the President of the Board of Directors of CVB. I shall plan to return to your next City Council meeting 3 weeks from this evening on November 7th to more fully address allegation of the CVB's fraudulent misrepresentation of its legal entity type. Thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Christopher Buttner. Good evening. My name is Christopher Buttner. I've appeared twice before the City Council, on October 3rd and again on October 17th. My appearances have been regarding Public Records Act requests for the July 1st, 2019 and July 3rd, 2023 executed amended agreements for the promotion of tourism with the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, hereinafter referred to as the CVB, for identifiable records that were disclosable under the California Public Records Act. We've already established with certainty that the City of Angels has had administrative challenges with its record-keeping process for over 4 years. This statement being valid with specificity to the missing executed amended agreements for the promotion of tourism from July 1st, 2019 and July 3rd, 2023. In September 2023, upon its continuing inability to locate the missing executed amended agreements for the promotion of tourism from January 3rd, 2023, the city administration endeavored to recreate the document and obtain the required signatures to enact the terms of the contract. To eradicate any misconceptions by the City Council and its administration, the CVB is definitely not a nonprofit association. The CVB is a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation. The CVB formally initiated the conversion of its legal entity type by having sought consent from the State Attorney General's office in April 2021, and then, upon receiving that request for consent, the CVB formally completed its conversion of its legal entity type with the Secretary of State's office. CVB's conversion from a nonprofit public benefit corporation to a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation became effective with the Secretary of State's July 12, 2021 filing date. It is imperative that the city administration understand that at no time during the time frame by which the July 1, 2019 and July 3rd, 2023 agreements for the promotion of tourism have been understood to have been in effect as the CVB ever been a nonprofit association, despite having been stated so in the agreements. CVB's representative and signatory to the most recent agreement, CVB Executive Director Martin Tuberty, falsely affirmed the CVB's legal entity type on the September 2023 agreement as a nonprofit association. It is alleged that the CVB, a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, had failed for over 2 years to officially notify the City of Angels of its conversion of its legal entity type to a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation effective July 12, 2021. It is alleged that the CVB, a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, has been operating illegally since July 12, 2021 without valid bylaws. It is alleged that the CVB, a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, has been visibly and persistently deceiving the public for whom it was purported to be of benefit since July 12, 2021, as evidenced by its still displaying invalid bylaws on its website, as I address herein. The CVB purporting these invalid bylaws to be current and valid, they are not. It is alleged that the CVB committed fraudulent misrepresentation of its legal entity type by falsely entering into the July 3rd, 2023 agreement for the promotion of tourism formally executed with the City of Angels on September 18, 2023. These allegations regrettably jeopardize the City of Angels administration by drawing it into an expanding scandal that also includes the Calaveras County government having been similarly duped by the CVB on August 22nd, 2023, when it entered into a formal contractual tourism promotion agreement with the CVB, claiming its legal entity type to be a California nonprofit public benefit corporation. Thank you and good evening.
Seeing none, I'll open up to public comments. Are there any public comments? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Christopher Buttner. My website is Calaveras2024election.com. This government invites intense public scrutiny by failing to demand accountability from CVB Board President Morgan Gacce and CVB Executive Director, District 3 County Supervisor Martin Huberty concerning the CVB's deceptive practices. Ms. Gacce's hyperbolic claim of unprecedented amounts of tourism dollars, calling that a mind-blowing amount when describing the county's $246 million annual tourism revenue in 2022, deceptively spins statistics into falsity by a critical fact omission of the negative growth of annual tourism revenue. Ms. Gacce stated the county's $30 million increase in 2022 annual tourism revenue was a substantial gain over 2021. However, factually, the real purchasing power of 2022's annual tourism revenue is actually 5% lower in consumer price index adjusted dollars than 2019, the last year before the pandemic disruption. Additionally, the CVB's 2021 federal tax return provides irrefutable evidence that Mr. Huberty, as the executive director of the CVB, has known the CVB to be a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation since July 12, 2021, and no longer a public benefit nonprofit corporation. CEO Hitchcock and DA Uke must take very seriously the extensively evidenced allegation of the CVB's fraudulent misrepresentation of its legal entity type, demanding answers of Ms. Gacce and Mr. Huberty to the following questions. On what date did the CVB adopt bylaws legally required for a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation? Why are the CVB's defunct public benefit nonprofit corporation bylaws, last amended on March 1st, 2018, still published on the CVB's website, falsely proclaiming the CVB's legal entity type to be a public benefit nonprofit corporation when factually the CVB's legal entity type converted to a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation on July 12, 2021? Why did Ms. Gacce falsely affirm by signing the tourism promotion agreement that the CVB was a public benefit nonprofit corporation when in fact she is legally responsible for knowing the CVB has been a mutual benefit nonprofit corporation since July 12, 2021? Why is the CVB's legal entity type misrepresented in the tourism promotion agreement, the official funding document with the county, at the directive of the California Office of the Secretary of State and the Office of the Attorney General? Substantial evidence obtained from Public Records Act requests that must prompt an investigation will soon be delivered to the Calaveras County Auditor Controller, the DA, and the grand jury. Thank you very much.
Are there any other public comments?